Good morning, everyone. So, today we will have some basic knowledge about what is evidence law and what does Indian Evidence Act contains and teaches us. So, without wasting any time, let's start with it. Let's start with the first question, that is, identification of a suspect by photo is dash. Fill in the blanks with the given options. The options are A. Admissible in evidence. B. Not admissible in evidence. C. Section 9 of the Evidence Act excludes identification by photo. Or option D. Section 8 of the Evidence Act excludes identification by photo. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, identification of a suspect by a photo is admissible in evidence. The next question is, things said or done by a conspirator in reference to the common design is relevant under which of the following sections? The options are A. Under section 12 of the Evidence Act, B. Under section 6 of the Evidence Act, C. Under section 10 of the Evidence Act, or option D. Under section 8 of the Evidence Act. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, under section 10 of the Evidence Act, the things said or done by a conspirator in reference to a common design is relevant. So let us understand what does section 10 states. Section 10 states things said or done by a conspirator in reference to common design. This section states that where there is a reasonable ground to believe that two or more persons have conspired together to commit an offense or an actionable wrong, anything said, done, or written by any one of such persons in reference to their common intention after the time when such intention was first entertained by one of them is a relevant fact or against each of the persons believed to so conspiring, as well for the purpose of proving the existence of the conspiracy as for the purpose of showing that any such person was a party to it. Moving on to the next question, which is, a confession made by a conspirator involving other member in the relevant against the conspirator jointly tried with him and is admissible under which of the following sections? The options are A. Under section 8 of the Evidence Act, B. Under section 10 of the Evidence Act, C. Under section 30 of the Evidence Act, or D. Both B and C. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, under section 30 of the Evidence Act, a confession made by a conspirator involving other member is relevant against a co-conspirator jointly tried with him and is admissible in evidence. So let us now see what does section 30 states. It states consideration of proved confession affecting person making it and others jointly under the trial of the same offense. This section states that when more persons than one are being tried jointly for the same offense and a confession made by one of such person affecting himself and such other or such persons is proved, the court may take into consideration such confession as against such other person as well as against the person who makes such confession. Explanation: the word offense as used in this section includes the abetment of or attempt to commit the offense. So now, after gaining information about section 30, let's move on to the next question, which is, alibi is governed by which of the following sections? The options are A. Section 6 of Evidence Act, B. Section 8 of the Evidence Act, C. Section 12 of the Evidence Act, or D. Section 11 of the Evidence Act. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, Section 11 of the Evidence Act states and explains the concept of alibi. So let us understand what does Section 11 states. Section 11 states when facts not otherwise relevant become relevant. This section states that facts not otherwise relevant are relevant when, first, if they are inconsistent with any fact and issue or relevant fact, or second, if by themselves or in connection with other facts they make the existence or the non-existence of any fact and issue or relevant fact highly probable or improbable. So now let's move on to the next question, which is, the transaction and instances relating to a right or custom are relevant under which of the following sections? The options are A. Under Section 6 of the Evidence Act, B. Under Section 8 of the Evidence Act, C. Under Section 10 of the Evidence Act, or D. Under Section 13 of the Evidence Act. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, Section 13 of the Evidence Act deals with the transaction and instances related to right or a custom are relevant. So now let us see what is Section 13. Section 13 states facts relevant when right or custom is in question. This section states that where the question is as to the existence of any right or custom, the following facts are relevant. That are A. Any transaction by which the right or custom in question was created, claimed, modified, reorganized, asserted, or denied, or which was inconsistent with its existence. B. Particular instances in which the right or custom was claimed, recognized, or exercised, or in which its exercise was disputed, asserted, or departed from. Let's move on to the next question. That is, Section 13 of the Evidence Act applies to which of the following rights? The options are A. Corporal rights, B. Incorporeal rights, C. Both corporeal and incorporeal rights, or D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, both corporeal and incorporeal rights. That means to say Section 13 of the Evidence Act applies to both corporeal and incorporeal rights. The next question, which is Section 13 of the Evidence Act deals with what? The options are A. Is confined to public rights and does not cover private rights. B. Is not confined to public rights and cover private rights also. C. Is confined to private rights and does not cover public rights. D. Either A or C is correct. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, Section 13 of the Evidence Act is not confined to public right but also covers private right also. The next question is mode of proof of a custom is contained in which of the following sections? The options are A. Section 32 clause 4 of Evidence Act, B. Section 32 of clause 7 of the Evidence Act, C. Section 48 of the Evidence Act, or option D. All of the above. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, all of the above deals with mode of proof of a custom. That means to say Section 32 clause 4, 32 clause 7 and Section 48 of Evidence Act deals with mode of proof of a custom. The next question is Section 14 of Evidence Act makes relevant the facts which show the existence of which of the following? The options are A. Any state of mind, B. Any state of body or bodily feeling, C. Either state of mind or bodily feeling, or D. A particular state of mind and a state of body. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, Section 14 of the Evidence Act makes relevant the facts which shows the existence of either the state of mind or of body or bodily feeling. Moving on to the next question, which is Section 14 of the Evidence Act, Explanation 1, deals with what? Options are A. Deals with the evidence of general disposition, habits or tendencies is inadmissible. B. Evidence having a distinct and immediate reference to the particular matter in question is admissible. C. Both A and B are correct. Or D. Both A and B are incorrect. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, both A and B are correct. That means to say Section 14 of the Evidence Act, Explanation 1, deals with the evidence of a general disposition, habit or tendencies is inadmissible, but also states that evidence having a distinct and immediate reference to the particular matter in question is admissible. Moving on to the next question. Previous conviction of person is relevant under which of the following explanations? The options are A. Explanation 1 to Section 14 of Evidence Act, B. Explanation 2 of Section 14 of Evidence Act, C. Explanation 3 of Section 14 of Evidence Act, or D. Explanation 4 of Section 14 of Evidence Act. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, the Explanation 2 of the Section 14 of the Evidence Act deals with previous conviction of a person is relevant. Section 14 deals with facts showing existence of state of mind or of body or a bodily feeling. This section states that facts showing the existence of any state of mind such as intention, knowledge, good faith, negligence, rashness, ill will or goodwill towards any particular person or showing the existence of any state of body or a bodily feeling are relevant when the existence of any such state of mind or body or bodily feeling is in issue or relevant. The explanation 1 of this section states that a fact relevant as showing the existence of a relevant state of mind must show that the state of mind exists not generally but in reference to a particular matter in question. Explanation 2 explains that but where, upon the trial of a person accused of an offence, the previous commission of the accused by an offence is relevant within the meaning of this section, the previous conviction of such person shall also be a relevant fact. Now, after having a knowledge about section 14, let's move on to the next question, that is under section 15 of the Evidence Act. Facts showing series of similar occurrences involving the same person are relevant in what circumstances? The options are A. When it is uncertain whether the act is intentional or accidental. B. When it is certain that the act is with the guilty knowledge. C. When it is certain that the act is done innocently. Or D. Either B or C. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is under section 15 of the Act, facts showing series of similar occurrence involving the same person are relevant when it is uncertain whether the act is intentional or accidental. Moving on to the next question, which is admission has been defined as a statement made by a party or any person connected with him, suggesting any inference as to the fact, an issue, or a relevant fact under certain circumstances under which of the following sections? The options are A. Section 16 of Evidence Act, B. Section 17 of Evidence Act, C. Section 18 of Evidence Act, and D. Section 19 of Evidence Act. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, the above question deals with the section 17 of the Evidence Act. Section 17 deals with admission defined. This section defines admission. So this section states that an admission is a statement, oral or documentary, or contained in electronic form which suggests any inference as to any fact and issue or relevant fact, and which is made by any of the persons and under the circumstances thereafter mentioned. The next question is admissions must be dash. Fill in the blanks with the options. The options are must be examined as a whole and not in part. B. Can be examined in parts. C. Can be examined as a whole or in parts. Or D. Both B and C are correct. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, admission must be examined as a whole and not in parts. Moving on to the last question for the day, that is, admission binds the maker. Dash. Fill in the blanks from the options given. The options are A. Insofar as it relates to the fact. B. Insofar as it relates to the question of law. C. Both on questions of fact and of law. And D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, admission binds the maker insofar as it relates to the facts. This was the end of our first presentation. Hope you all liked it and hope this presentation or video was able to teach you something about the civil procedure code. Thank you for watching it. Thank you.